Welcome back one and all to the brand new lectures in physics. So in the previous class we had discussed about the plane angle, solid angle as well as the mole of a substance. So in this class I am going to discuss the very important concept in physics or in measurement we can say, that is dimensional analysis. So what is meant by dimensional analysis? Before going to that, what is the dimension first of all? So you all know about some words called one-dimensional object, two-dimensional object, three-dimensional object like that. So that concept was slightly related to this dimensional analysis as well. So let us discuss this. First of all, if a derived physical quantity was written in the form of fundamental physical quantities, that means either a product or a division or whatever it may be, if a derived physical quantity is written in the form of fundamental physical quantities, in terms of fundamental physical quantities, then the power of that particular fundamental physical quantity is called dimension. So the definition is clear, but an example needs a clear understanding. So let us see. Let us suppose force. Force can be written as mass into acceleration. Force can be written as mass into acceleration. So, mass into, how can we write acceleration? We can write it as velocity by time, velocity by time. And velocity can be written as displacement by time. So into 1 by time, it is already there. So 1 by time. So here if you observe, the fundamental physical quantities means length, mass, time. Okay, so that means this formula must be written in terms of length, mass and time only. So for that, mass is already there, time is already there. So displacement. So displacement, either it is a distance or displacement, whatever it may be. So the unit is related to the length. So that's why finally mass can be written as m. It will be denoted by m. And only one mass is there, that is m power 1. And displacement can be written as length, which is power 1. And finally 1 by time into time, that is 1 by time square. So the time can be denoted by t. So it is 1 by t square, that means t power minus 2. So if you write the derived physical quantity force in terms of this MLT format, that means mass, length, time, then this powers, that means m power 1, L power 1, t power minus 2. So this 1, 1 minus 2 are called as dimension. And this type of formula, okay, where a derived physical quantity can be converted into a fundamental physical quantities, are called dimensional formula. Okay, so what was the main and important application for this? So before that, let us write some of the derived physical quantities which we know in our daily life, okay, and convert them into a dimensional formula now. Okay then. So generally, if you have to observe, let us consider the formula for work. So for work, let us the unit we all know, it is kg into meter square per second square, right? Kg into meter square per second square. That means force into displacement. Force is kg into meter per second square. Into displacement means meter. So we can write the unit in terms of dimensional formula as well. For example, let us see here kg. Kg is the unit for mass. That's why m power. So 1 kg is there. That means m power 1. And meter. So meter is the unit for length. So that's why L, and the power will be L square. And here 1 by second square, that means t power minus 2. So in this way we can write a unit into we can convert unit into a dimensional formula, as well as if you know the dimensional formula, we can easily calculate the unit or check the unit for that particular physical quantity. Okay, it is very, very important thing. Okay, so now what are the applications of this dimensional analysis? And before that, what was the general equation for this? So let us suppose x is a physical quantity, that is a derived physical quantity. Then the dimensional formula for this derived kind of physical quantity can be written as m power a, L power b, and t power c, which is the general fundamental equations for the dimensional formula, where a comma b comma c are called dimensions. A comma b comma c are called dimensions of mass, length and time. Mass, length and time. So what is the main use of this particular dimensional analysis, and what is the use of converting once again the derived physical quantity in terms of fundamental physical quantities and all these things? So applications. So the first and foremost application is we can easily convert the physical quantity from one system to another system. So using the concept of dimensional analysis, we can easily convert a physical quantity from one system to another system. That means MKS to CGS, or SI system to CGS, or CGS to SI, like that. And second important thing, we can easily make some relations between the physical quantities, which you already know, but these equations we cannot expect that actually. For example, if you take mass as an example, so the mass formula can be written in terms of force as well as time as well as length, like that. So that means we can create some new relations, form some new relations using the dimensional analysis. And the third one, we are already having some relations like S is equal to ut plus half at square, v square minus u square is equal to 2as, like that in kinematics, and I think we are having it in work and energy also. So that's why we can easily check the correctness of that particular relation using dimensional analysis. So to check the correctness of equations. Check the correctness of the equations. So these are all the main and important applications of dimensional analysis. What was the first one? We can easily convert the physical quantity from one system to another system. And the second one is we can easily make some relations between the derived physical quantities. And next we can easily check whether the given relation is correct or not. So these are all important applications of dimensional analysis. So before going to the examples for all these applications, I need to explain one more important concept which is related to this dimensional analysis only. So that is principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. So what is this principle of homogeneity? So I am writing a relation. Let us suppose y is equal to a into b plus root of ab plus a square by b plus c square plus, let us suppose, cube root of a b, like that. So I just made a relation, that is y is equal to a into b plus root ab plus a square b plus c square plus cube root of ab. So I have used all the relations related to mathematics. So according to the principle of homogeneity, it was said that the dimensional formula of y must be equal to the dimensional formula of AB plus the dimensional formula of root AB plus the dimensional formula of a square by b, that is equal to c square, that is equal to cube root of a b. So that means all these terms are having same dimensional formula. So that means y is equal to, I think the dimensional formula of y must be equal to the dimensional formula of AB, and we can take, I think we cannot take these like this, we can take it as CD, okay, or c square by d, or x square by y, like that. So that means if a particular physical quantity, I think, having a relations like this, then all the relations which are added each other must have the same dimensional formula. It itself means that the quantities having same dimensional formula must be added in a physical relations. So we cannot add two physical quantities having different dimensional formulas. So if you consider a simple equation like v equal to u plus at also, here u and v you all know it is velocity. So that means at is also comes under velocity only. That means the acceleration into time will give the velocity. That means v, u, at all are having same dimensional formula. So in making a relation, the one important concept must be, we must compulsorily follow the concept of homogeneity, principle of homogeneity. So if you know the principle of homogeneity, then only we are able to design the relations between the physical quantities. So this principle of homogeneity plays a vital role in solving some problems in dimensional analysis. Okay. So now let us see an example for the first application. So that means conversion. It's conversion from CGS to MKS or MKS to CGS, whatever it may be. So now, before going to that, we need to consider one thing here. I already said physical quantity is simply a combination of a numerical value, okay, with the unit, right? So if two physical quantities, that means if a physical quantity are having different systems, for example 1 kg is equal to 1000 grams, so that means 1 kg must be equal to 1000 grams. So it was clear for that. So if you write that particular equation as a fundamental equation, we can write it as N1 into U1 is equal to N2 into U2, where N1 and N2 are the numerical values of that particular physical quantity and U1, U2 are their units. So the example we can write it as 1 kg is equal to, we can write it as 1000 grams, where 1 here will be N1 and N2 will be 1000, U1 will be equal to kg and U2 will be equal to grams. So this, using this particular equation only, okay, we will calculate or we can convert a physical quantity from one dimension to another dimension. So let us consider N1 into, so this is the dimensional formula, right? So what was the, I think basic equation of the dimensional formula? M power A into L power B into T power C is equal to N2 into M power A into L power B into T power C. So we can write like this. Then N1 can be written as N2 into, and we have to write here M1, L1, T1, M2, L2, T2, M2 by M1 whole power A, L2 by L1 whole power B, T2 by T1 whole power C. So that means M2 by M1. So that means M2 power A by M1 power A. So that means A power X by B power X, that is A by B whole power X. So these are relations which is related to the mathematics. Then L2 by L1 whole power B, T2 by T1 whole power C. So this was a particular relation. So here if you observe, what will be the final result? The final result is in which system you need to convert the physical quantity, the numerical value of that particular system can be calculated using this formula. That means N1, N2, they are the numerical values. So that's the reason why here M2, M1, same physical quantity was divided here. That means the resultant will be a constant. Length by length, it's a constant. That means both the units of the physical quantities will be cancelled, and the final result will be a constant. So that means using this formula, we can easily convert a physical quantity from one system to another system. So in the next class, we will discuss about the problems which are related to this unit conversions and the remaining applications as well. Okay, thank you.